It's July 17th, 2024, and it's been a little bit since I made like a full update. I made a few updates, within the last week, but I decided to delete them. I don't know, it's just for personal reasons, and sometimes it's better off for some things to be left unsaid until the time is right, and I didn't feel that the time is right. So anyways, where do I even start? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with yesterday. We had some torrential fucking rains. If anybody watched the news, you'd notice that Toronto got pretty flooded. It was pretty much all over the place on social media too, so Hamilton's not that far. I got back here yesterday. I was out and I got back and walking through the rain, so walking through all of that and coming up on the encampment, I got pictures. And there was a lot of rain, probably about a foot, and at first it didn't quite get up to my tent over there. But as it kept going, the ground's been pretty wet. It's been raining quite a bit as of late, so the ground doesn't really have a lot of time to dry. There's still puddles everywhere right now, not as bad obviously as yesterday, but eventually, it got to about a foot where my tent is. So literally underneath my tent was fucking water everywhere. It took a little while to get there. I was already here and keeping an eye on it, and it's too late at that point. Like, what am I supposed to do? I have nothing to stop it. It's not like I can just pick the tent up and move it. It's already been through one storm. Well, now it's fucked. I'm gonna have a lot of stuff in there that I'm gonna have to get rid of. I did a little bit of a cleanup today, not too much, but I got rid of some stuff. I'm not going to have much left, to be honest. But, hey, if I let something like this get to me, then the shit that I say is worthless, you know what I mean? And my life is a lie. Because I'm not materialistic, and I'm not. I don't care about stuff. Stuff comes and goes, it can be replaced like that. It's people that you cannot replace. And I'm fighting for my kids, so I can replace all that shit. The tent is replaceable, charger packs, fucking other shit, it's all replaceable. It's a pain in the ass, but it's replaceable. And it's funny because like this happens, and I just found out today's Wednesday, so last Friday I found out that my ex-wife had actually tried to send the police here to tear down my tent encampment because she's still trying to convince people that I'm fucking stalking her. Even though I have video evidence that proves otherwise, they're actually stalking me, and trying to figure out every single move that I do. And I'm going to get into that in a second. It's unreal. So, I don't know, I kind of just laughed it off, to be quite honest. I really did. It's like, what else am I going to do? I was thinking about moving anyways, because I've pretty much used all the resources here as far as wood goes, and I don't want to cut anything live. So, I was thinking about that anyways, and then, what I'm about to tell everybody kind of is going to push me into that situation as well. So back in February, when I was, for whatever reason, kicked out of my mother's house because my ex-wife planned it, the police had showed up that day, and they actually never even spoke to me. I didn't even know the cops were there, and I've said this many times. My ex-wife called the cops on behalf of my mother because she's got her convinced that I'm a threat. I'm so scary. I'm such a fucking monster. So she got her convinced because she's mentally ill. She's naive. She's going through episodes right now. And my ex-wife is the master con man of manipulation. The con woman, sorry. So that's what narcissists are. So she had her convinced that she needed cameras at her apartment. I laugh because, you know, I don't have a criminal record for violence whatsoever. I don't have a criminal record. I already defeated that criminal record that she tried to put on me. But it doesn't get through her head, you know. Like, she won't stop. So she continues and continues and continues. So she's tried to convince my mother to get cameras right up until recently. So we're going on now 5 months since I've been there. And she's trying to convince her to get these cameras installed because I'm such this monster, you know. And she wants access as well as her boyfriend so that they can monitor it. And well, I got to out it now, but my brother told me really the reason why is because my ex-wife wants to know my every move, right? And they obviously got cameras at their house. And I'm going to tell everybody right now that you're never going to see me even near that house. Like I said in one of my videos, I don't want anything to do with her other than to see my kids. She is a lying, conniving, vindictive liar. I am not stalking anybody like that. But that's what these people do. You know, these things that they come up with, they're fucking confessions. And they really are. They're confessions. Because what everybody doesn't know, and I'm about to drop right now, is that it is a confession. Because my ex-wife claims that I sexually assaulted her, blah, 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 blah. We proved that that was false. But what I can actually tell people that is true is that one of her family members actually sexually assaulted me. Back in 2007, I believe it was, when I first moved here to Hamilton and I started dating my ex-wife. My ex-wife, as well as her parents and myself, went out to dinner with her grandmother, who's deceased now, so she can't even talk about this. And anyways, we're about to leave, and somebody wanted pictures. I don't remember who, but somebody wanted to take pictures. It was probably my ex-wife. So anyways, we're about to take pictures, and I go to sit down, and my ex-wife's grandmother goes to sit down beside me. And I don't know how old she is. She's probably in her 70s at this point. And she puts her hand right on my dick. And, you know, I jumped up and I was like, whoa. And her dad was the actual only one that stepped up for me after that. You know, they all made the excuse, oh, you know, she was just drunk. She didn't mean it, this and that. It doesn't fucking matter, right? But because I'm a man and that happened, I got to keep my mouth shut about it. I got to pretend like it never fucking happened. But it did happen, right? So again, all of these allegations that people throw at you, they're generally confessions. So there's a confession for you. There's a fucking truth bomb for you. Oh, that, you know what? That felt good to get out, to be honest, because I've been holding that one for a long time. There was really, I think, only one other person that knew that story, and it's Ron Montgomery, because he knows my life. And Ron, happy birthday. Ron's 71, I believe. You know, and you know, Ron has, like I said in a lot of my other videos, Ron's like a father figure to me. You know, he understands what I go through because Ron went through the exact same bullshit. Might have even been a little bit worse for him. But, you know, he's a lot better of a man than I am, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. And he teaches me a lot of shit every day. He really does. And he helps me out as much as he can. So Ron, again, happy birthday. I hope you had a good day. You're probably at supper right now. Ron's out in Saskatchewan, so he's a couple hours behind. But happy birthday, Ron. So there's the confession. You know, and why would somebody want cameras installed to only further what I'm trying to tell people? You know, the question people has to ask themselves at this point is, why in the fuck is his ex-wife getting involved so much with his mother. You know, why? And it's for control. It is for control. You know, my mother is not only like mentally ill and all this other stuff. I've said it in other videos too. She's an alcoholic and she's a fucking drug addict. She does cocaine, for fuck's sakes, at 65 years old. You know, and that's why I don't have a relationship with my mother, because of these things. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm the black sheep of the family. I am, 100%, because I stand up for what's right. Whereas everybody else, they want to sweep stuff under the rug. Where, no, that's not the way to heal. That's not the way to take accountability, is to sweep shit under the rug. I've already fucking done that once before. For 20 years, we did that. No. So, you know, why would somebody want to try to continue to manipulate somebody to only further what I'm trying to tell people? That it's a fucking obsession. She's the one stalking me. I have proof of it already. You know, I'm living in the bush, as trying to be as peaceful and by myself as possible. You know, I don't want anybody around here. The only person that knows this location is my brother. You know, why would I? It's fucking unreal to me. I can't even describe it anymore because it never ends. You know what I mean? So the only way that I can make people aware of it is obviously to document it. It's the only way. You know, the coercion and the manipulation that happens in some of these cases is fucking wild. You know, I have parents, like, literally still, and I'm overwhelmed with it right now. And I've told some people that, you know, I'm overwhelmed with it right now. I'm trying to look out for myself right now because I've worried about a lot of other people that probably I shouldn't have. You got to take accountability. I'm not looking for pity or anything like that. I'll take the faults that I made. You know what I mean? I did make some, 100%. So now I'm fixing those and trying to work on myself. Obviously, like, you know, again, I'm out in the bush by myself, secluded, isolated, almost 100%. Is it getting to me a little bit? Yes, 100%, because of this shit. It doesn't stop. So I'm like, how long am I gonna have to stay out here? You know, with this flood, who fucking knows? Anyways, so the whole camera thing is unbelievable. You know, they want to install cameras at my mother's so they can further spy on me. You know, and a lot of people are telling me, go to the police, go to the police. You know what the fuck are they gonna do? Until there's an actual law, you know, that I can use that can actually make her accountable, because nobody wants to use perjury. I fucking tried to get them to do that. There's proof of it. But everybody closes their eyes. You know, once I give people the truth, it's like, what? No. Because nobody can take accountability that maybe your opinion was wrong of me. Or you just flat out didn't believe me. So now you have to face reality that you were wrong. And it's not that hard. I do it every day. I know I've made mistakes. You know, so that's part of what you have to do. But this is the type of shit I got to deal with. So I got an ex-wife that really has been obsessed with me since high school. You know, and a lot of people that I've went to high school with, you can now see that. And if you can't, you're fucking blind. But she's been obsessed with me since high school. She knew exactly when I first met her. She knew exactly where my locker was, all my fucking teachers. She knew that I always wore plaid. So obviously people can tell I've never changed. She knew all of this, and she's always been obsessed with me. She still is. Obviously, she's got this attachment with my own mother. She won't let my mom see my kids. She keeps making excuses for that, but she's got no problem installing cameras at my mother's. You know, this is fucking narcissistic to the core, and this is why I do what I do, because the family court systems and the Office of the Children's Lawyers and all these fucking systems that are attached to our government, because they make billions off of us and our conflict in these fucking situations, they all support this type of shit, right? They're not going to support the fact that here's all this abundance of proof. You know, I've got people that my ex-wife has tried to coerce. I've got affidavits that even say this. You know, I've got perjury. I've got this. I've got that. This is what happens. Everybody closes their eyes to the truth. You know, it reminds me of that old movie with Roddy Piper. I can't even. I think it's called. And, you know, it's the same thing, you know. He could see all this shit that nobody else could see. It's like, you know, sometimes you really think to yourself, am I really the only one? But I know I'm not. You know, I'm getting shit sometimes from people because I have the Canada flag upside down. Because our country is upside down. Not just within family law, and I always knew that. You know, I was never blinded by any of that. But look at our fucking country right now. I'm not the only homeless person around. They're trying to fucking take people off the streets and put them further into the streets. Like, where are we supposed to go? You know, when our government literally fucking chews us and spits us out like we're nothing. You know, I was born here in Canada, and yet I have no rights. My rights actually were taken away 5 years ago, and I never really regained them. You know, because I'm always going to have this stigma behind me. No matter what, there's going to be people out there that are going to judge me. Whether or not I was proven innocent or not, and it was exonerated of all this fucking bullshit, it doesn't matter to a lot of people. They don't care. Because their opinion matters more than just saying, shit, I was wrong. I was wrong. You don't even have to like me. Just fucking admit that you were wrong. Can't. And a lot of people can't. So as you can see, the last little bit it's been fun, you know, and it sucks when you don't have a lot of trust, you know. So I was already thinking, you know, because of all of this stuff that's going on within, you know, my ex-wife doesn't stop. So I got to get I have a little bit of stuff that's still over there at my mother's in the shed, and I got to get it out of there. But now I had this flood, and it's like, you know, if it rains again like that, it's going to happen again. I can't move this tent. You know, it was destroyed in the storm in January, and I literally pieced it back together. There's no way that it's going back to, I'm not going to make it to move, you know, so I'm literally going to have to tear it down and throw it out and buy another one. But, you know, again, I've been searching for work for the longest time. The only work that I can find is it's too far out of the distance, so I can't even get there. And, you know, I'm in bush. And that's the other thing that I have to think of when I end up moving encampments, is that right now I'm in bush. So for me to get out of here and come in, for that matter, I'm getting soaked, especially if it rains. I gotta wait hours after. I gotta wait for the sun to be out for a long time for stuff to dry, so that when I go out of here, I don't get soaked. Sometimes I gotta chance it, because sometimes I have to go out. I have no choice. And again, you know, I'm dealing with I'm sure it's a slip disc, and it's just out. And my sciatic has been killing me it's almost 2 years now, just almost steady. It's chronic pain. It doesn't go away. But for me, I just put mind over matter. The fucking pain's temporary. You know, I was out walking all day yesterday. Again, today I went out for a walk. I want to thank my good friend Ben for helping me out. Again, Ben, like he's another guy that fully understands it. He's gone through it, and his kids are older. And, you know, he still has like that kind of rocky relationship with them. But, you know, he continues to move forward. And, you know, it's funny because I haven't said this to him yet, but like, you know, 10 years ago, me and Ben met through the juicing community, and not like, you know, juicing steroids, actual juice, fruits and vegetables. You know, we met through the Reboot with Joe community, and I looked up to him 10 years ago because of the running and shit that he did back then to lose a lot of the weight as well. And I took that inspiration and did that myself, and, you know, ran a lot of half marathons and did some fundraisers for some people. I'm gonna get emotional now because of it, but, you know, Ben knew the type of person that I was. You know, I tried to help out a lot of people back then too, and I really did. And he helped me out a lot by what he was doing, and I took inspiration from that, you know. So I looked up to him, and, you know, he just sent me a message and, you know, said because of my persistence and resilience and being a warrior, you know, he's really looking up to that right now. So, you know, the good that you put out, it does come back. It always does. The bad that you put out always comes back too. And there's certain people out there that, trust me, it's coming. The time is coming. Wow, that was tough. But, you know, Ben, thank you for always being there, bud. Decade of friendship, and to be quite honest, we've never met. We've talked on the phone years ago. We basically message each other on a daily basis. And I have a lot of friends like this, you know, that are all over the world. That, hey, we're ride or die. It's good to have people like that sometimes, you know, that you can always count on no matter what. It's good. Because those are the people that know exactly who you are, and you will never question their integrity, because you'll never have